Once upon a time, in the quiet village of Oakhaven, something very strange was happening. It was already late April, yet the snow simply refused to melt. The rooftops were heavy with white, and the entire village was frozen solid. The rivers were as hard as stone, and the flowers that usually heralded spring were deep in a cold slumber beneath the drifts. The villagers shivered behind closed doors, wondering if spring had lost its way forever. Brave little Lily sat by her window and sighed. "It's too cold, even for the snowmen," she thought. "Spring is lost, I just know it. If no one else is going to find it, then I will." She decided to take a small step of courage. Lily packed her bag with a thermos of sweet, steaming hot cocoa. Then, she wrapped her thickest red woolen scarf around her neck. With this scarf, she felt like she could face any cold the world might throw at her. Ready for her journey, Lily marched toward the whispering woods. The forest looked even more silent and colder than usual. But Lily's heart was warm with the hope of bringing spring home. The woods were beautiful, but terribly quiet. There were no birds singing, no wind whispering, only the crunch, crunch of Lily's boots in the deep snow, breaking the heavy silence of the forest. Suddenly, Lily tripped over something soft and furry. "Hey, watch it! Can't you see a badger trying to sleep?" a grumpy voice grumbled. Out from the snow popped Barnaby the badger, looking very annoyed. Barnaby frowned and barked. "You woke me from my hibernation. Look at my paws. They're practically ice cubes. Badgers shouldn't have to deal with this kind of weather in April." Lily apologized. "I'm so sorry, Barnaby. I didn't know you were there." Barnaby sniffed and said, "Rumor has it the Winter King fell asleep on the throne of the seasons up on Frosty Peak. He's forgotten to leave, so spring can't take over. But that peak is far too dangerous for a little kid." Lily didn't give up. "I have to try. Won't you help me? I have some warm, delicious hot cocoa right here." The smell reached Barnaby's nose, and his eyes widened. "Hot cocoa? Well, all right, let's give it a shot." The two friends set off toward Frosty Peak. Having a companion made Lily feel much braver. Barnaby, despite his grumbling, even used his paws to clear some of the deeper snow for her as they walked. As they climbed higher, the wind grew fiercer. Lily's small legs sank deep into the snow, but her red scarf was a bright spark of hope against the white blizzard. They held on to each other and kept moving forward. Finally, they reached a massive ice cave near the very top of the mountain. From inside came a sound like rolling thunder. Snore, snore. It was the Winter King, and he was indeed very, very deep in his sleep. The cave was filled with sparkling ice. Right in the middle sat the Winter King, on a magnificent throne. His long white beard was like a frozen waterfall, cascading all the way down to the icy floor. He looked so peaceful, yet the world was waiting. Lily stepped forward carefully and opened her thermos. A golden steam of sweet cocoa scent drifted out, filling the cave. She held it close to the king's nose, letting the warmth tickle his long, snowy beard. What is that wonderful smell? "It smells like a cozy fireplace in the dead of winter," the king whispered, slowly opening his eyes. Lily offered him a cup, and the king took a sip, smiling brightly. "Oh, this is delicious," Lily explained gently. "Your Majesty, it's already April. You were supposed to hand the throne over to spring a month ago, but you fell asleep." The king looked shocked as he checked the sky. "Oh dear, I've slept far too long. I am so sorry to everyone, and to my brother Spring," the king said. He stood up and tapped his great ice staff against the ground. "Now it is time for spring to arrive. Snow, be gone!" His voice echoed through the peaks. With his command, the icicles began to melt into sparkling waterfalls. A warm breeze replaced the biting wind, and clear water started to flow across the cave floor. A magical transformation had begun. Down in the forest, a miracle was happening. The heavy snow slid off the trees, and green buds appeared on every branch. The sleeping flowers began to wake and stretch, and the woods were suddenly filled with the song of birds. Everywhere the snow melted, colourful flowers popped up. Purple violets and yellow primroses smiled at the sun. The forest was turning into a vibrant garden of colours, and butterflies began to dance in the warm air. Spring had finally come to Oakhaven. People threw open their windows and ran outside to soak in the golden sunlight. Spring is here! Lily did it! The villagers celebrated with flower necklaces and dancing. The cold was finally gone. Thank you, Lily. You've allowed me to leave with a happy heart. See you next December. The Winter King waved as he drifted away on a white cloud. Lily and Barnaby waved back until he disappeared into the northern sky. And what about our friend Barnaby? Well, he finally got to finish his nap without worrying about frozen paws, tucked away in a soft green patch of grass under the warm sun. He had a very satisfied smile on his face. Brave little Lily's red scarf now flutters gently in the spring breeze. Oakhaven is full of laughter again, and they all lived happily ever after. The story of Lily and Barnaby's grand adventure is told to this very day.